Hey guys, it's Timmy, and this is Wrestling Unlimited. As it's Monday, and it didn't there we go, didn't unmute Luke for a reason. I don't know why, usually does, but it's Monday, and tonight was Monday Night Raw. As far as tonight's Monday Night Raw does go, I thought it was a really good show with an amazing main event, and most people probably didn't see that finish, because I bet you a lot of people did not have Jey Uso beating Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, I did have somebody ask me, hey, could they do a thing where like Jey wins, but it's by count out or DQ or something, and then it leads to like another match, but Jey gets the win without getting the belt? And I'm like, I can maybe see it, but I wouldn't have put money on Jey winning the title tonight. I'm just going to say it. Like, I think it was a great move, maybe the right move. But I just thought it was a little too soon to take that title off old Braun Breaker. So I don't know. Very interesting stuff. We got a bunch of stuff announced for next week. Dom's going to dangle in a shark cage and so much more to talk about. But we've got Luke over here with us as well. Luke, how you doing, and what'd you think of Raw?
I'm doing all right, and I thought Raw was a pretty good show. Very, very surprising ending, but I thought it was pretty decent episode. Very easy to watch. Mm-hmm. They really did a good job of setting stuff up for next week, which I really liked. And yeah, like that ending, like I did not expect Jey to win, but I thought it was a pretty good move for like storyline purposes.
And I know we're going to get to it. We'll break down the entire match. But speaking of that main event match, I loved how they did so many of, I guess you would call the false finishes for Jey, where you're like, oh, he almost got him. Nope, he ain't going to win. Too many of those close near falls to where I'm like, oh yeah, no, Braun's getting the, oh crap. So that was my thing, where I saw so many of those close near falls for Jey Uso. I'm like, okay, they're giving us they want you to think he can win, but he's not going to win. And then all of a sudden he wins. So I thought they played that off. I thought that in itself, they played off very, very well. Very well. So there was one thing I didn't like on the show, though. Why did we have to watch the entire Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns video again? Like, we saw it on SmackDown. It was great to watch it on SmackDown, but it's like, I saw it. I don't need to see that again. That was my one knock on this show. If I had to knock anything, we didn't need to see that whole thing. Like, maybe recap it or just tell us what happened. We didn't need all of it. They played the whole damn video again.
I mean, yeah, they do that a lot with like the Bloodline stuff. They replay like certain segments on Raw. I mean, they've done that for like what, 2 years now?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Bloodline?
Yeah.
Or since the Bloodline became a thing.
That sounds about right. But with all of that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, come help us out over on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live. And that way you know when we post to the community tab. If you want to support in another way, you can hit the join button and become a channel member. Becoming a channel member is great and easy to do, even if you can only donate at the $1 tier. We greatly appreciate that, whether that's here on YouTube or patreon.com/PWU Unlimited. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use our code right here, PWU Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Right now, you can pre-order EA Sports FC 25. Maybe you're trying to get God of War Ragnarok on PC. Or you're looking for that, The Incredibles coming to Fortnite. I think it's this week, they stated. Incredibles are coming. You're going to want to use the code PW Unlimited at checkout. Also on Fortnite today, for 500 V-Bucks, they added the Deadpool Bye 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 Dance emote. Go get that. Use our code. Super cool. Gonna go check that out tonight too, because I'll be streaming some Fortnite after we're done talking Monday Night Raw here. I'll be twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy playing some Fortnite as well. But with all of that, let's talk about Raw first, as Raw was a pretty dang good show, I will say. And the show itself, excuse me, opened up shots of fans waiting in line to buy merchandise. Braun Breaker, Jey Uso, and Drew McIntyre were then shown arriving at the building. Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan drove up in a red lowrider. Also, speaking of red lowriders, they got a new like Eddie Guerrero style red lowrider toy coming out soon. I think it said it's coming out like this week or next. You can go buy, so that's really cool. Morgan and Dom then enter through the arena.
I actually just thought of something.
Huh?
What if they partner with Fortnite and they have the lowrider as like a special vehicle you can use?
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
I just thought of that.
Screw it. Give me the old Steve Austin monster truck. We're going cars, WWE cars. Give me the Steve Austin monster truck.
Or if WWE creates like a racing game for mobile.
So there was a WWE quote unquote car racing game back in the day. Do you ever remember WWE Crash Hour?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, we're looking this up really fast. Hold on, guys. WWE
I'm gonna look.
Crash Hour. I'm gonna pull this up on the screen. I believe there might have been two of them. I had it on GameCube. So Crash Hour 2 was gonna come out, but never did. But we'll pull up some images here of WWE Crash Hour.
Dang, this is an oldie.
Yes.
PlayStation 2, GameCube.
Yes, I had it on GameCube. And basically, why is that not... Oop, hold on, guys. Let's switch back over here really fast.
They had the Undertaker motorcycle, Hulk Hogan vehicle.
So basically, this was WWE's version of Twisted Metal. That's what this game was. It was WWE Twisted Metal. If you've ever played... You played Twisted Metal?
I did not.
You know what Twisted Metal is?
I'm looking it up.
Twisted Metal is basically you got vehicles with weapons and you're trying to kill each other. And that's what this game was supposed to be. WWE Twisted Metal.
I know the show Twisted Metal with Samoa Joe.
Yes, that's based off the video game, the PlayStation game. So yeah, Crash Hour.
I thought that was like a WWE game that you meant at first.
What? Twisted Metal?
Yeah.
No, Twisted Metal was a PlayStation game. There's like 4 of the mainline games, and there was another one, Twisted Metal Black, and then they tried to bring it back again, and it didn't work. But the show, I did like the show. But as you guys are seeing here, this is just some stuff of Crash Hour. It had Kane, Brock Lesnar, Triple H, The Rock, RVD, and a bunch of others. I think Hogan was in the game as well. Edge, Christian, Trish Stratus, William Regal, Benoit, as you see here. Yeah, Hogan.
Wasn't the show Twisted Metal kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Wasn't it like changed a little bit from the video game?
Yes, it was. Because the video game, which season 2 may follow the game better, is what I'm hearing and reading. The video game is basically you enter the Twisted Metal tournament. And then you go into the tournament, you got your vehicle, and you're fighting it out or whatever. The show was a little different. It followed a brand new character, not from the game, played by Anthony Mackie. And his job was like, I guess he was supposed to like deliver. I can't remember exactly. I watched the show when it first came out, and then it just left in my mind. I liked it, but he was like delivering something. He was like a delivery guy or whatever. But yeah, they changed the premise of the game for the show, but it was in the same universe, and we still got some of the same characters like Sweet Tooth. We got Calypso. We got a bunch of, Calypso was the one that ran the tournament, the Twisted Metal tournament. So we kind of got a glimpse of Calypso in the show, which I think he's going to have a bigger role in season 2. Which that's why Samoa Joe has been gone from AEW, because he's been filming season 2. Samoa Joe is the body of Sweet Tooth, and then Will Arnett unfortunately does the voice, which he does great as the voice of Sweet Tooth. But I'm like, just let Joe do the voice. Let Joe do the goddamn voice. I will say,
yeah,
Joe
like why isn't Joe doing the voice?
I heard they wanted a big name actor attached to the show other than just Anthony Mackie and Will Arnett. was that other big name actor. That's what I had read, but I don't know if that's true or not. So I don't know. But all I'm saying is you should have just let Joe do it. Because Joe, and I think this is from pro wrestling, Joe may have had some of the best acting in that show without having to speak a single line and wearing a mask. Had some of the best acting in the entire show.
Did you see Samoa Joe's in a video game now?
Yes, he is in the new Yakuza game, the pirate one. So Joe has done a number of voiceover stuff. He's also King Shark in the Suicide Squad game. Let me see. Samoa Joe's done a lot of voice stuff. That's what he did.
That's what he did a lot when he got released from WWE second time before he joined AEW. He was doing a lot of voice stuff.
Right, and I know we're getting off topic here and stuff, but Samoa Joe was Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. He was King Shark. And he was Sweet Tooth in the Twisted Metal show. Trying to see what other games and stuff that he did. He was Juggernaut in Dota Underlords. He did 4 episodes of Transformers Power of the Primes. He was Predaking. And then I'm trying to see if there's anything else. He was Beast in Game of Thrones, a Telltale series, which is actually a really good game.
Yeah, I just saw that one.
And I know there's another one. I'm looking at his IMDb. I know there was another one, but I can't find it here. Maybe I'm misthinking, but I could have swore there was another like anime or cartoon that he did. Maybe I'm just misthinking. But yeah, Samoa Joe's done a number of voiceover stuff and has gotten very like good praise for it as well. Getting back to Monday Night Raw. Before we do that, we got to talk about esports gaming rules. Got a bit donation here. He also subscribed at a tier 1 subscription for 28 months. Thank you, my guy. He says, the Yeet man did it. And by the way, AEW Jags are 0-3 in the NFL season, and they may be done. So good luck, TK, on your AEW WBD2. What? No. I ain't reading the rest of this because this is just stupid. No offense, esports gaming rules, but the Jacksonville Jaguars have nothing to do with AEW and their WBD deal that I believe is already signed and going to be announced at any time. So to say, oh, the Jags sucks, Tony Khan's going to get kicked off WBD. Yeah. Thank you for the subscription. But that comment is so short-sighted and so just, yeah. One has nothing to do with the other at all. At all. Because, like I said, a TV deal, I believe it's all but signed. If not already signed, and they're just waiting for the right time to announce it. Or maybe they've got the TV deal locked in, they're finishing working on the streaming deal, and then they'll announce everything together. Because according to Andrew Zarian, AEW pay-per-views are going to Max. So, yeah.
That'll be cool. Now I can finally start watching AEW pay-per-views now.
Right? Well, I mean...
Because I think...
Go for it.
I think I have a Max subscription already.
Oh, nice.
I have to check.
Also, you got Netflix, right? You got Netflix. That Vince doc comes out tomorrow, 11 o'clock Central our time.
I'm going to watch that tomorrow morning before class.
Well, no. Tomorrow night, 11 p.m. Because it drops on Wednesday technically, but it's like Wednesday midnight, so Tuesday midnight. So tomorrow, Tuesday, 11 p.m. Central, we should be able to watch it. 6 episodes. Don't know how long each episode is, though. It'll be a late night for me. I've contemplated maybe doing a watch along. Not for sure, guys, but maybe. Because I've got a couple of different ideas with, covering that documentary. Also, speaking of that documentary, did you see Vince McMahon's statement today about the documentary?
He said some things were like scripted.
No, not necessarily.
He said I agreed to the documentary and I don't like. I'm trying to think of the word. He said I don't like regret any.
Right. He says that he doesn't regret doing the documentary, but from some of the things that he's seen, they took liberties in editing to not fully like change his story, I don't think he was saying, but to make him, Vince McMahon, the real person, seem even more like the character he was portraying in Mr. McMahon on TV. He was saying, basically, he's trying to say, oh, I, as a real person, am not as bad as some of the stuff I did on television, but they're trying to make it sound like I am in this documentary. That's basically what he was saying. A couple of things that he said were, hold on, I'll tell you right here. He had said, because there was a couple, I got it pulled up right here. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but there was a couple quotes off of it that I was like, oh, okay. So first off, he said, it's got a deceptive narrative. Basically, they want you to believe what they want the documentary to be. And then his also other thing is conflating the Mr. McMahon character with my true self, Vince. So he's basically saying not that necessarily they changed my story, but they basically are not playing it, or they're not telling the story properly of Vince McMahon is Vince McMahon. Mr. McMahon, the character, is Mr. McMahon, the character. They're not exactly the same, yet the doc may want you to think they're 100% exactly the same. That's basically what Vince was trying to say. And then he also said something about he thinks that they took his affair a little far as how they portray that into making him seem like a worse person as well. And then Janelle Grant's lawyer had to come out and be like, oh, calling this an affair is all? Well, it's worse than that. Yeah, the whole thing. It's a whole thing, ladies and gentlemen. But speaking of affairs and storyline, do we think Dom was having an affair with Liv while Rhea was out? I don't know. You can take that however you want. But they were all in the ring tonight, and they announced a big stipulation for Bad Blood. So Morgan and Dom came out to the ring, and as they were being booed by the crowd, they walked around the ring and took what they called their victory lap. And Liv was like, I just want to let you guys know what we did there. You may not know what that is. It's called a victory lap. Morgan took, she says that she took everything from Rhea Ripley, just like she promised to do. The world title, the Judgment Day, Dom, and all. Ripley then came out. Big, huge reaction from the crowd in Ontario, California. Also, I had a friend there. One of my cousins, like best friends, went to the show and was like, this was the greatest crowd I've ever been in for a wrestling show. And he's been to a number of wrestling shows. I don't know exactly how many, but I know he's been to more than like 5 or 6. He said it was the greatest crowd he's ever been with. Usually he just goes to house shows. So for TV, I want to say this is his first televised event. I don't know. I'd have to text him and ask. Let me text him real fast. I'll text him here in a second. But yeah, he said it was the best crowd he's ever been in for a wrestling show, and it was his words were freaking fantastic crowd. Rhea got a huge pop. She came down to the ring and told Morgan to shut up. Ripley entered the ring and assured Morgan she wouldn't hit her. Dom tried to stand in her way, but she told him to get out of her face. Morgan said that Dom might still be with her if she showed him half as much attention as she shows, well, Damian Priest. Basically, Liv insinuating you care more about Damian than you did about Dom. Morgan figured that Ripley was out here to announce that her injured leg was going to keep her out of the match at Bad Blood. Morgan said that Ripley wasn't getting out of the match that easy. Morgan wasn't bigger or stronger than Ripley, but she would win because she's smarter. Ripley then announced, no, I'm fully cleared. I'm good to go. And Dom, by the way, you're not going to get involved. You belong behind bars, and that's where you're going to be during this match. She announced that Dom will be locked in a shark cage hanging high above the ring. She faces Liv Morgan for the title at Bad Blood. Ripley said this is when she plans to win her title back, when nobody can get involved. And I'm like, okay, Dom can't get involved, but what about the rest of the Judgment Day? What about Carlito? What about JD? You know, Finn's going to be worried and busy with Damian, but it's like, it's not like Liv can't have JD or Carlito interfere. So, yeah, I'm going to put them all in the cage. Anyways, this is a good segment. They announced the shark cage deal, and I think that is going to bring a little more interest to this match. What did you think of it?
Oh, yeah, I like it. I think it's a very interesting stip. I'm trying to think the last time I think the last time we seen the shark cage in WWE, it was Big Cass versus Big Show, and they had Enzo in the shark cage.
When was that one?
2018, I believe.
Because I know 2017.
It was.
I mean, it was uploaded to WWE's YouTube account in 2017. It says Enzo Amore is locked in a shark cage above the ring. YouTube WWE August 20th, 2017. Because I know also in 2017, I believe it was, at the Royal Rumble, Universal title on the line, Jericho was in the shark cage, and it was Kevin Owens defending against Roman Reigns. So I think they did 2 shark cage matches that year. Yeah, everyone's saying 2017.
3, actually, I believe.
3 shark cages in 1 year?
Then NXT TakeOver 1.
Oh, well,
Authors of Pain versus TM61.
Paul Ellering in the shark cage. I forgot about that one. Plus, that wasn't main roster, but still, it counts. It counts. But yeah,
I think they did that the same weekend as the.
Oh, they might have actually. Yeah,
the Royal Rumble. That was the same weekend.
Possibly. But we're getting the shark cage back. Haven't seen it. So if that was 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, that's 7 years. It's been a while. It's been a while. But it should be interesting. I mean, they're going to do the gimmick where Dom's got a weapon and he's going to drop it down into the ring, hoping Liv gets it, and then like Rhea grabs it instead. That's what we usually see in these damn shark cages is whoever's locked in the shark cage is going to drop a weapon down. Whether it's like brass knucks or a little lead bar, pipe, or whatever. But moving forward, at our first match of the night, really good match. Like, we had a great opening match and a fantastic closing match. Good wrestling on this show. It was Sami Zayn versus Ludwig Kaiser in a 12-minute match. So the match starts, they're brawling a little bit, and they go to a break after Kaiser shoves Zayn off the barricade into the timekeeper's area onto Samantha Irvin's leather chair. Zayn then fought back after the break and hit a somersault flip powerbomb for a 2. Zayn went for a haluva kick at one point, but Kaiser slipped out of the ring and drove Zayn into the steel steps. Kaiser then did his run around the ring, drop kick into the steps to Zayn. Zayn then barely beat the referee's 10 count, so Kaiser hammered away at him. Excuse me. Zayn then fought back, but Kaiser raked his eyes and applied a cradle with his feet on the ropes. Ref started to count 1, 2. He notices it, stops the count. Kaiser then argued with the referee, so Zayn grabbed him and hit him with an exploder suplex in the corner. Zayn went for a haluva kick again, but Kaiser caught him with an enziguri for a near fall. Zayn then countered a DDT into a German suplex and finally hit the haluva kick and pinned Kaiser to pick up the victory. That was a really good match. Crowd was totally into the whole thing. And before we get to the post-match, what did you think of the match itself?
It wasn't a bad match. I liked it. I think it was the post-match is what everyone probably cared about more.
Yeah, so Gunther comes out in gear, wanting you to think he's going to wrestle. He comes out, he walks around the ring, he grabs a microphone, he gets up on the apron, and he's like, you know what, Sammy? You keep saying you want to challenge me for the championship, my world heavyweight title. Well, maybe I answer your challenge. I give you an answer. And maybe Ontario, California is the great place to give you that answer. And as soon as he said, give you that answer, I knew what he was going to do. It was very obvious. He ain't wrestling right now for the belt. They ain't doing that in Ontario. He says, oh, and my answer? Well, it's still no. He chuckled and left. And Sammy was all just like, oh, this goddamn guy. This goddamn guy. So you know Sammy's going to get that match eventually. Sammy's going to get that match.
It's probably going to be next week. Maybe
it had been reported already that it's on the list for Bad Blood. So it's supposed to happen at Bad Blood.
Maybe next week. I'm trying to figure out how they do it. I got it. What if they have what if he beats up Kaiser? He has Kaiser like laying on the ground. He's like, it's like, Gunther, give me a shot, give me a title shot, or I'll like break his neck or something.
Going a little far for Sammy. I can see something more of like Gunther tells Sammy no again, but Sammy like makes a great argument, and then Adam Pearce is finally just like, you know what? Screw it. You need to defend that belt. Sammy is your challenger. I can see him doing something just like that.
I don't know. I just feel like this would be a lot better if Pierce wasn't involved.
No, I get that.
Because I feel like if Pierce got involved, then I feel like this would have been a waste of time, because it'd be like, well, why didn't Pierce do that in the first place?
True. Well, we got a couple bit donations here from Esports Gaming Rules. First one says, WWE and Triple H gives us 2 W's for the WWE Universe. The Pirate Princess Kairi Sane for her birthday along with Sky to get a tag title shot, and Jey Uso Yeet Man for the IC Championship. And I can't wait for the Netflix documentary to see him rise and fall. I mean, for the most part, we should know the entire Vince story. It's like, if you've been following WWE for any time, you know Vince's entire story. He's never shied away from telling it. It's just, how are they going to talk about the legal stuff he's going through right now, the lawsuit? We know the lawsuit will be featured in episode 1 and episode 6. So that's the stuff we don't know, like we know of, but we don't know how they're going to portray it. He also says Dom is going to be like Chris Jericho when he was with Kevin Owens. I don't want to be in the cage. We kind of already did that tonight. Because Jericho's whole thing was, I'm scared of heights. And then he also says, Kairi Sane, thank everyone in the WWE Universe for the birthday wishes, even Stardom fans. Okay, cool. I didn't know it was a birthday.
I know it's kind of random, but have you ever heard of the priority passes, like when WWE sells tickets for like a premium live event?
Yes.
Like, what are those? Because I saw one for a Royal Rumble that I might go to.
The on-location priority passes are basically kind of what you did when you got to like go down to the ring, take the photo and everything, the meet and greet stuff. But then also for like the pay-per-views, I think they also feed you. You get like a catered dinner and whatnot. There's food you can eat and whatever. Yeah, if they partner with a company called On Location, that basically gives you a high-end VIP experience at the event.
Oh, this is cool when they start doing this.
3 years ago, maybe? It's been a couple years.
Is it when like Triple H took over they started doing this, or is this when Vince was there?
It was a way back kind of thing. I think it was a Nick Khan idea from like early on when he started.
I didn't really notice this for a while. I thought they only did this for like Mania.
They do this for every pay-per-view, at least. So yeah, it's just like a VVIP or very important, very very important person kind of deal. Watch, I'll read you WWE On Location, like for Royal Rumble. On Location Royal Rumble gives you, so depending on what package you pick, because there's multiple packages as well. What is included in my package? Dedicated entrance, so you have a special entrance to get into the building, so you don't have to walk in with all the other pedestrians, I guess you would say, the lesser than people. Pre-show hospitality, which means you're getting fed. Appearances by your favorite WWE superstars. Premium seating, and you get a special gift that nobody else can get.
I know when I had the VIP thing for a live event, the gift that we got that no one else got was like the VIP chairs. It's probably gonna be a chair, a mini title belt, a book of like 8x10s where wrestlers can sign.
Nice.
And what else they gave? They gave us like some sort of like almost like a coin maybe that they could also sign, but I never got mine signed. I always just got my main title belt. Oh yeah, they also gave you like a hat as well.
Nice. Yeah, so right now you can pre-purchase a spot for the On Location Priority Pass, which your deposit is non-refundable. So if you want to grab a slot, because they're a limited number, of course, you want to grab a slot and then you end up not wanting to do it in the end, you don't get your deposit back.
Interesting.
Yeah, but your deposit does go to your final charge as well, which I don't know exactly how much they are, but I know they're kind of expensive.
I wonder how much like the full like deposits are.
So just for your deposit alone, this isn't even the full price. Just the deposit's $500. Yeah.
I wonder how many like deposits you have to make.
Well, no, you put one deposit down to hold your spot. Your deposit is non-refundable if you end up not going and doing it. But your deposit holds your spot, and then you just pay off the rest. I don't know how much it is in total.
So, like, if you make a deposit, are you like guaranteed a spot?
Yes.
Or can they just say, sorry, we're full?
No, if you pay for a deposit, you're locking in your spot. But like I stated, if you end up canceling, you don't get the deposit back. If you say, never mind, I'm not going to do this in the end, you're still out that $500. Let me see something. Like, I want to know.
Yeah, I'm going to grab my laptop real quick. I'm going to add an extra shift at work.
I want to see how much these actually cost. Well, here we go. How much is the Bad Blood one? Let's just look at that. Royal Rumble might be a little more expensive, but the Bad Blood one, whew. So for Bad Blood, the big one is sold out, so it doesn't even give me the price. There is a Champions tier, a Gold tier, and a Silver tier. The Silver tier starts at $500. The Gold tier, which lets you meet Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair at the little pre-show hospitality deal, $1,500.
Just to meet both of them?
For the Gold tier,
I don't know if that's worth it.
$1,500. You get the hospitality. They're the meet and greet. You get an event poster and another special priority pass gift.
I don't know if that's worth it, really, if I'm being completely honest.
For $500, you don't even get the meet and greet. For $500,
that's not worth it. It really isn't.
For $500, you get the upper levels. You get an upper level seating spot, official priority pass gift. You get to enter into a special entrance, and you get a WWE credential and lanyard.
So you get to like go to the press conference or like.
So that is another thing, yes, which people are not happy about because they are actually, yes, letting fans into the press conferences. And that's why, if you remember, I can't remember which pay-per-view it was, but there was one. It may have been, I can't remember which pay-per-view it was, but there was one that like Roman was like, get her mad, or he was like, get that person out of here. They're laughing at her. Yeah. And that's what it was. It was one of these priority pass people that were in the press conference. So that's another thing, yes.
Wait, wrestlers aren't happy about that?
I mean, media aren't, because then it takes a spot. So say X amount of media members get credentialed for a pay-per-view, and then they do the post-show press conference. Well, if they're letting 5, 6, 7, 8 of these priority pass people come in for the press conference, that's less of the media that's going to get brought in that can actually sit in there. You know what I mean? Because they always credential more media that they let into the press conference. But when you're adding more of these fans into the press conference, it's taking up seating. So
interesting.
Yep. So it's a whole thing. But yeah, because there was. Oh, now I gotta remember. Chat, remind me. What was the one where Roman like tried to get someone kicked out of the press conference? And everyone's like, which media member is that? And then we found out it wasn't a media member. It was a fan from the priority pass thing. Yeah, that was a whole thing. Earlier this year. May have been Rumble. I don't remember exactly. Anywho. Esports Gaming Rules with one more bit donation. It says, did you see the video in which Seth Rollins got tossed into an NFL game in Indy, the site of the 2025 Royal Rumble, and the site of a future SummerSlam, future WrestleMania, which is Lucas Oil Stadium? Yeah, I don't know full context. I just saw the video. I didn't even see it with any sound. Where Seth got like thrown over the wall onto the field, kind of like the field area. Did you see that? At the Bears Colts game?
I did not. What happened?
So basically, Seth Rollins was at the game this weekend, and someone, I think it was a bit, someone like threw him over the wall where he was sitting or whatever to make it look like he was eliminated from the Rumble. And then he gets up all mad like you would if you're eliminated from the Royal Rumble, and then he like storms off. 99% sure it was a bit. So I can find the video real fast, pull it up. Seth Rollins, it'll be easy to find. Seth Rollins. Oop, Jay got his Triple H photo for winning the belt. Here it is. Darius J. Butler posted it. Here we go. Pull this up on the screen. Oop, I lost it. Oop, we'll post it. Go here. So it was this right here. This was the video. It starts in like mid deal, but Seth gets thrown over the wall and he gets all mad like when you get thrown out of a Royal Rumble. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know who he is, so chat, let me know. And then like security comes and grabs him. He's all pissed off and they take him away. He's like, ah, damn, that. Seth Rollins, huge Bears fan. But yeah.
Does that look like that has to be a bit.
There's
no way he can be that mad.
No, it's got to be a bit. I'm 99% sure it was a bit.
Maybe that was like one of his friends or something.
There's got to be something set up with the stadium and the team and all. Yeah. They said he was thrown by former Colts wide receiver T.Y. Hilton. Gotcha. Never heard of him.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
What?
I think he helped me win a fantasy championship one year.
Nice.
No, he was the number one wide receiver when Andrew Luck was with the Colts.
Okay. See, that's when I was watching football, but not really following football. Like I've always watched, but not till the last couple of years I really got into it and like follow and know who different players are on different teams and this and that.
That was honestly a good era of the NFL. That's when Cam Newton was still good. Seahawks were in their best years with Russell Wilson.
Speaking of Cam Newton, you hear that he went and practiced with the Carolina Panthers last week? They brought him in for a practice?
Yeah.
Because they benched their starter.
Don't even get me started on that.
Anywho.
Hey, it helped us get a win, though. Andy Dalton helped us win.
True. Very true. You see them Jags get stomped tonight?
I did not watch the game because I was watching Raw.
Well, I didn't watch it, but I was keeping up with it. It was like 47-10 Bills.
Yeah, Jacksonville's not very good.
And Bengals still can't win a game. They lost to the Commanders of all teams. The Commanders. Anywho, back to some Raw. New Day segment. Kofi Kingston approached Xavier Woods in the back. Woods was happy to see him and took responsibility for last week and kind of like losing his temper. Kingston told him it was all water under the bridge. They agreed that it was time for the New Day to get back on track. Kofi tried to bring a bunch of old New Day gimmicks. He had Budios and Francesca the trombone, and Woods is like, we need to get serious. When we were winning all the time, championships every other week, yeah, we can have fun. We can goof off. But we can't goof off right now when we're not the champions, when we're not picking up wins. We need to hunker down. We need to get serious. He's like, we haven't won titles in 3 years. And Kofi looks at him and is just like, I understand. I totally get it. We need to take things more serious. Gotcha. I just thought bringing this stuff out would remind you of the good old days and maybe get you in a better mood. And they kind of both agreed, yeah, it could, it would, but we can't go backwards. We have to look forwards. Kofi admitted to not making great decisions lately. Kingston said that Woods should call the shots tonight and be the QB, maybe for the next couple of weeks. They shook hands. American Made then came up and started laughing at them. Chad Gable called them has-beens who were trying to reignite a dead spark. Kingston acted like Uncle Howdy was behind him. He's like, look, Uncle Howdy. And they all jumped and turned around all scared, which is pretty damn funny. I really like that. Gable then settled down and said that they were done with the Wyatts and wanted real competition. Woods said, oh, well, what about us? How about we take on your two boys? And they accepted, and American Made left. With Woods' back turned, some guy showed up behind him wearing a unicorn hat and holding a plate of pancakes where Kofi was kind of like, no, we ain't doing that yet. So that was pretty funny. That popped me, and it popped the crowd as well. What did you think of this segment?
I thought it was funny.
Mhm.
Have you actually ever tried the New Day PWU cereal?
No, because I've never been able to find it anywhere. I know I could probably buy it online, but every
You
time I
probably
look,
buy it on WWE Shop. Do they not sell it anymore?
oh, not anymore, no. But whenever I would see it like online, people would buy it and then sell it on like eBay and stuff for like super high prices. I know for a while it was sold at FYE, but I didn't have one of those by me.
Remember their ice cream thing that only lasted like 2 months?
Yeah. So Liv Morgan and Dom argued with Adam Pearce in the back about the shark cage. He told them that Dom was going in the cage, and that was final. Pearce left. Carlito and JD showed up. Carlito assured Morgan that he is going to beat Dragon Lee tonight, and Morgan said that Dom and McDonough will be at ringside for you. They then bumped into Ilya Dragunov, who knew that McDonough was going to do nothing for him without Finn Balor by his side. McDonough said that Dragunov was lucky they were busy. Dragunov then told them, keep walking. Kind of an awkward segment. I don't know. Nothing much to it. They just needed to fill.
Yeah, it really wasn't much.
They just needed to fill like 3 or 4 minutes. So we're like, let's get this. So speaking of Dragon Lee and Carlito, that match did come up next. It only went about 2.5 minutes or so. Dom and McDonough, at one point at ringside, took out Del Toro and Wild. So Ray ran down, try to even things out, and wiped them out with a dive off the barricade. Dragon Lee used the distraction to apply a schoolboy, but Carlito kicked out. Dragon Lee then hit his version of a Destino moments later and got the pinfall. So good win for Dragon Lee. Finally, a win for Dragon Lee on TV, because I don't think he's gotten a singles win since like June, maybe even before that. It's been a while since Dragon Lee's picked up an actual win. It was short, but hey, it does the job. So in the back, Karrion Kross approached Miz.
Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
Have you played WWE 2K yet, or at least like seen like Dragon Lee in the game yet?
I've seen video. I haven't played as him though.
He's really fun to play with in that game.
Got to re-download it. I don't even have it downloaded, to be honest. I had it on my
Please
PlayStation.
re-download it.
Huh?
Please re-download it. You should have seen Jade Cargill's entrance. And Lyra Valkyria, her entrance in that game was awesome. Not as awesome as Jade's. Jade probably has the best entrance in the game.
Nice. Yeah, because I played it for a couple of months when it first came out, and then like we didn't play it, and we needed space on the PlayStation, so I'm like, I'll just delete WWE because my son wanted Warzone. And you know, Call of Duty, that's gonna take like almost 200 gigs. So Karrion Kross approached The Miz backstage as he was warming up for his match against Bronson Reed. Kross was like, well, why are you doing this? And Miz is like, I asked for it. Kross is just like, yeah, why are you doing it? Try to talk Miz out of it or whatever. And yeah, Miz was like, you're just screwing with me. So is Karrion Kross just supposed to be a motivational speaker or something? Is that his whole gimmick now? He's a motivational speaker? Trying to get people to, I don't know. I don't even know what he is now.
He's the main roster Sean Spears now.
Oh Lord.
Like you don't need to thank me. Just I don't know. You know how Sean Spears is trying to motivate people?
Yeah.
And he's basically he's probably just the new Sean Spears now on the main roster.
Gotcha.
That would be my guess if I had to compare it.
They showed a bunch of staff from Netflix sitting in the front row. They gave them a big shout out, which, yeah, they were in Southern California, so why not bring a bunch of Netflix people there? I was told that there were a number of high-ranking Netflix executives at the show as well. Beth Kelly then interviewed Sheamus. He kept referring to Pete Dunne as Butch. She's like, call him Butch, 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 Butch. He said he had a score to settle and that his ancestors always said there was nothing more dangerous than an Irishman with a score to settle. Now, well, you got your ass beat later. You were choked out. Then we had The Miz versus Bronson Reed. That didn't even happen. Strowman leapt off the barricade, and I was like, oh, fuck, and knocked down Reed during his entrance. Miz then got in Strowman's face, So Reed knocked them both down with a suicide dive. Security then ran down to break it all up. Reed stacked 2 guys up and hit them with a big old tsunami. Crushed them both. Strowman then gave 2 security guards a double chokeslam. They teased a superplex. Maybe teasing the ring-breaking spot for next week, I think. Security got in the way. Dozens of security then came down to break everything up. Strowman set up for a dive onto Reed, and security stopped it. So yeah, next week it was officially announced. Not a last man standing match, but a last monster standing match. Trying to pick this off like it is King Kong versus Godzilla. What do you think? Getting that last monster standing next week.
I think next week the ring's gonna break, and at the last second, Bronson Reed's gonna stand up.
Yeah, I think they're going to do it as well, break the ring.
I mean, we're due for that. When was the last time we seen that? 2017?
Probably. No.
It was 20. I think it was.
Didn't they do it with Strowman and Big Show, or was that 2017?
That was 2017. That was the year. That's when Kurt Angle became GM of Raw. His first night, he destroyed Roman.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And he went on a whole reign. He was just beating everybody up, and then he destroyed Big Show when the ring collapsed.
Gotcha. Yeah, I couldn't remember the year on that one. They showed more people in the crowd. Showed former New York Jets quarterback and now NFL on Fox announcer Mark Sanchez, or you just call him by the name everybody else calls him, Butt Fumble. And then they also showed Tool guitarist Adam Jones. So Drew McIntyre came out. McIntyre started by repeating CM Punk's final words from his promo last week when he said that he was prepared for this to be his end. He's been thinking about Punk's words and the look in his eyes last week. He knew Punk meant every word he said. For once, Punk was real and telling the truth. He said Punk was ready to sacrifice it all so he can end this with McIntyre. McIntyre was always honest, especially when it came to CM Punk. McIntyre admitted that he did not want to go back inside Hell in a Cell. He's done it multiple times and does not like it. He said that he's been in the cell before and it's broken things inside of him that still have not been fixed. McIntyre's family has begged him not to do this match, just like Punk's has. McIntyre's wife has begged him for months to just leave CM Punk alone and get away from him because she could see what it's been doing to him mentally. I like that line. I like that a lot, where it's like, yeah, my wife even says that this is screwing with my brain, my mind, my mental state. He said, but it all doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody else thought because this match is happening at Bad Blood no matter what. McIntyre promised to make Punk bleed and bleed a lot. Punk would suffer and feel more pain than he's ever felt in his life. He said that it was appropriate that Punk compared himself to the devil because this was always about good versus evil. Punk compared himself to a supernatural being because he saw himself as a godlike figure. But he's just a man. A man that McIntyre has easily broken multiple times in the past, and a man he will break permanently inside Hell in a Cell. Now, Drew here says, I'm going to editorialize a little bit. Drew here says, I'm going to have Punk feel more pain than he's ever felt before. I don't know. Because Punk had some pretty brutal matches with Raven back in the day where they fucked each other up. Like, big time. All over the world, too. What did you think of this segment?
I thought this segment was pretty good. Remember Hell in a Cell where Ryback destroyed him on top of the cell?
Yes.
And that show was dumb, honestly. They had Brad Maddox screw over Ryback.
Yeah, don't get me started on that.
What, the Brad Maddox stuff?
Yeah, that was just dumb.
And they made him GM at one point.
So if you want to go back and watch an insane CM Punk match, actually there's a couple of them. I'm trying to figure out this. So there is and they're all on the Ring of Honor YouTube. Some of these matches, at least. There's like the CM Punk Raven dog collar match. That match is crazy. There's also the CM Punk Raven Clockwork Orange House of Fun match, or House of Hardcore match, whatever they called it. It is. Hold on, I get the full name for you guys here. It is the. Damn, YouTube was going to show me ad before it shows me the name of the video. Here we go. Yeah. The Clockwork Orange House of Fun match. Both those matches are up on the Ring of Honor YouTube channel. Holy crap, those are violent matches. The Clockwork Orange House of Fun match is a cage match where they just destroyed each other. Punk bleeding like crazy, Raven bleeding like crazy. Dog collar match, they're both bleeding like crazy. Yeah, no. And don't just think, oh, they had some great matches against each other in Ring of Honor. They also had a match in TNA. They also had matches overseas in Germany and stuff. There's one, find the promo. This is a great promo where CM Punk's going to have a match with Raven, and he cuts a promo before the show in the concourse, the concessions area, basically doing his old, I'm better than everybody here because I don't drink alcohol. You guys are as bad as my deadbeat alcoholic father. You guys in line waiting for your beer. Yeah, that's going to ruin you, but I don't drink beer. I don't let things like that influence me. I'm straight edge and I'm better than, and he's cutting this promo on the fans in the concessions. It's great. Go find it. It's on YouTube. So, yeah, no, the CM Punk Raven feud that went like across multiple continents and countries was great back in the day. Then they tried to like do it a little bit in TNA, because when CM Punk was brought into TNA, they brought him in under Raven. They tried to like redo Raven's flock. Didn't really work out too well. Mickey James was there too. But yeah, I think this match is going to be awesome. I'm interested to see how far Triple H lets them go with this match. Like, are we going to see buckets and buckets of blood? Or are we going to see just a little bit of blood? Or we're going to see some like crazy weapons, just normal weapons, trash cans and chairs and kendo sticks? What do you think?
I'm not sure, actually. I just hope they don't like, do too much with Punk, because I'm worried he's gonna get injured in this match.
I don't know. I could see it, but
CM Punk, he is injury prone.
Now, yes.
He is now. Like, he wasn't really injury prone back in the day, but now he is.
Right. So Jackie Redmond asked Adam Pearce about the chaos involving Reed and Strowman. Pearce wanted things to stop between the two of them and knew that a regular match, well, wouldn't get the job done. So he announced next week, last monster standing. Pearce then ran off towards another nearby commotion where Sheamus was down on the ground, being choked out by Pete Dunne with a cricket bat. Dunne stopped upon seeing Adam Pearce, but then hit him with the bat in the back. Officials then took Dunne away. Sheamus, he then told Sheamus, "Don't call me Butch." So we're gonna eventually get a cricket bat match, I guess you would say. Oh boy, cricket bat on a pole. Cricket bat on a pole. Whoever pulls it down gets to use it.
If we got like some sort of like Irish street fight or something.
Oh, what do they call it? Sheamus has got a name for this.
Donnybrook match.
Yep, there you go. That's what it is.
I can see it.
Yeah, it'll work.
Doing it Bad Blood.
No, there's no room at Bad Blood. Triple H likes 5-6 matches. If you are adding Gunther and Zayn, that's 6. I don't think Triple H does more than that.
What are the other 5? Drew and Punk, Roman, Cody against Solo and fought Jacob.
So we have Liv and Rhea, Priest and Balor, Punk and McIntyre, Nia versus either Bayley or Naomi, and then Cody and Roman versus the Bloodline. That's 5. If you add the world title match, the World Heavyweight Championship match, Gunther and Sammy, that would make 6. Typically, Triple H keeps it 5 to 6. Now, if you
did you see the main event?
Go for it. What were you gonna say?
Did you see the main event might be Roman and Cody against Solo and Jacob?
I saw that, which then means they would probably open with Hell in a Cell. Because I
hope they don't.
I hope
they don't.
It should main event. I'm just saying it should, but you ain't putting that in the middle of the show. You either got to start with the Hell in a Cell or end with Hell in a Cell, in my opinion.
Yeah, but that match is like the most hyped up match, like at least by fans. At least WWE, they're hyping up the tag match though a lot. Unless the only way I see this tag match being the main event is if like something big happens in it, like Jimmy returning.
War Hero 99 says Clockwork Orange is Jericho. Talking about Chris Jericho? No. Clockwork Orange House of Fun matches were Raven in ECW, TNA, and Ring of Honor. He had a couple of them, and he had the one in Ring of Honor with CM Punk. I know he had at least two in TNA that I can remember. I know the Shane Douglas one was pretty good. I'm trying to remember the opponent for the other. But yeah, no, I've never heard of Jericho doing a Clockwork Orange match. The Raven Clockwork Orange House of Fun matches are nuts.
I wish WWE would bring back the Fight Pit.
Oh, Lord. But who would do it? Who, Punk for Punk and Drew?
No, I know it fit well for Matt Riddle because it was always win by KO.
Right. Julius Creed.
Or Chad Gable versus somebody.
Chad Gable and Uncle Howdy. In the Fight Pit.
That'd be funny. That would just be funny, though.
Esports Gaming Rules, a couple more bit donations. He says, Kairi Sane looks amazing in WWE 2K24 in her return to 2K. Also says, with Dakota Kai ready to return from injury, we don't know for sure, she's teasing something. Says, ready to return from injury. Do you see Damage Control focus on the trio, on Kairi, Io, and Asuka as like a Stardom-like or Marigold-like trio stable? No. I don't think so. I think they're just going to be doing like they've been doing, just faction group unit. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill approached Io Sky and Kairi Sane backstage. Bianca looked forward to facing Sky again in the future and thinks that the results should be different next time, though. Sky looks forward to it because next time they fight, well, it's going to be a tag team match with the tag titles on the line. Cargill and Belair assured them that the titles would not go anywhere. And that led to not a number one contender match per se, but one would assume it probably is. 9.5 minute match. Io Sky and Kairi Sane Damage Control taking on the Unholy Union, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. 9.5 minutes. Probably should have been a little shorter, but it wasn't bad. I thought it was still a good match. So Alba Fire and Isla Dawn took control and worked over Sane through a break. After the break, Sky made a hot tag and knocked down both women with a double springboard dropkick. Dawn gave Sky a cheap shot, and Fire applied a cradle for a 2. Sane then wiped out Fire with an insane elbow outside the ring, and Sky hit a great looking moonsault. Got the pinfall victory to pick up the win, seemingly most likely making them number one contenders. Huge crowd pop as they picked up the win as well.
Pretty good match.
Yeah, I liked it. Also, remember, guys, if you want to get your comment, questions, or concern read live on the air, you can do so on Twitch by donating Twitch bits or on YouTube with a super chat. Kathy Kelly interviewed Braun Breaker ahead of his big title defense tonight. Braun said that it was game day, which meant the dogs were barking in Orlando. Or I mean Ontario. I don't know why I wrote Orlando. He said it almost meant there would be a winner and a loser. Or also meant, So the championship deserves the right superstar to carry it over his shoulder, and that's not going to be Jey Uso. Also, you see freaking Braun Rechsteiner's cousin playing college football now? Caught like an 85-yard. He ran like an 85-yard touchdown over the weekend for Jacksonville State.
I did not see that.
Yeah, it's Scott Steiner's son. Oh, what is his name? Scott Steiner's son. Football. Brock Rechsteiner. recorded 2 receptions for 90 yards, including an impressive 85-yard reception that resulted in a touchdown. In the dominant 44-7 victory for Jacksonville State over Southern Mississippi. Yeah. So I wonder if this one's going to come to wrestling afterwards and if he's as good of an athlete as Ron is. Because he plays for them Jacksonville State Gamecocks. So, getting back to this promo, Braun said that somebody was getting their ass kicked tonight, and it wasn't going to be him. Braun was willing to offer Jay another shot at the title down the road when he worked his way back up the ladder and became the Rook contender once again. Then, you get a very interesting video. There's a circle, a fiery logo with a voiceover that says, "Fate is woven." And everyone's like, what is this? What is this? I think Viking Raiders coming back. That's what I think this is.
Now, it has to be Viking Raiders because WrestleVotes did tweet like war.
Yes. So WrestleVotes tweeted the word war and said that he would have more info on his podcast Thursday about what this could and will be. So saying war leads me to believe maybe 2 things. So when I first saw it, immediately my mind went Viking Raiders. So I'm like, oh, Viking Raiders coming back. Hell yes. But when he tweeted war, are they getting the name change? War Raiders? War Machine? I don't know. Probably not War Machine.
They can't be War Machine, I don't think.
They might be able to, but War Raiders would work.
They might be. There were War Raiders in NXT and it turned out great.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember back in the day before they signed with WWE, it was like them, Gallows and Anderson, and there was one other tag team on the indies that were like better than everybody. Better than anybody in WWE and TNA.
Young Bucks.
Well, I'm trying to think of another. Because I was thinking of another heavyweight tag team. Young Bucks, yes, but there was a third heavyweight tag team that there was always like the Good Brothers, them. It was hold on. This is in New Japan.
Was it Red Dragons?
No, it was another. Again, it was when New Japan really focused on like junior tag titles, heavyweight tag titles, and they were split. And like, hold on, give me 1 second.
Was it Davey Boy Smith and Lance Archer?
Yep, there you go. It was them. Those 3 tag teams were always clashing in New Japan, having just bangers. And it was like, holy crap. And then they would throw the Young Bucks in there every so often. They would throw other junior tag teams in with them. But that's when New Japan was really strict on like, juniors are staying with juniors, heavyweights are staying with heavyweights. There was a time there in like 2014, 15, 16 where it was like hard and fast, strict. And as soon as you moved up from the junior heavyweight division, like Kenny Omega and stuff, you didn't go back. And you just, nope. Now it's more fast and loose and they intermingle all of them. They throw guys like that was like only heavyweights in the G1 basically. Now it's like, oh, just whoever we want to throw in is in the G1.
I think this question is what qualifications do you have to be a junior? You just gotta be small and fast.
Basically.
And then heavyweights, you can just be like normal size and do whatever.
Yeah, I can't remember if they had like a weight limit or not. Because remember back in the day when WWE had the light heavyweight and cruiserweight division, it was 220. And I don't know if you ever saw these back in the day. Matt Hardy wanted to win the cruiserweight title. So he had all these vignettes of Shannon Moore training him to lose weight. And so he finally got to 220. They gave him a title shot for the cruiserweight title. And then the big thing was Matt's got to defend this title, but he's got to weigh in every week because if he gets over 220, he loses the belt because he no longer makes the weight limit. It was some great shit. It was funny as hell. All the ways Matt Hardy had to keep his weight down to get 220 or lower to keep the cruiserweight title. It was a great bit on SmackDown. Great bit.
Remember the Buddy Murphy one where he was over the weight limit, so he had to like take time away from like 205 Live just to like lose weight.
Yep.
And then there was the Enzo one.
Also, found it. Yes, I couldn't remember their name, but it was Davey Boy Smith, Lance Archer. They were the Killer Elite Squad. Killer Elite Squad.
I wish they'd be a tag team again.
Yeah.
Unless they kind of ran their course.
Kinda. Lance Archer then went off and did his. They kind of like once Suzuki-gun kind of broke up, they broke up, and it all just everyone went their same way. Their different ways and whatnot. It was basically what it was.
Like, yeah, they were always Suzuki-gun.
Yeah.
I think they had Shelton Benjamin and Suzuki-gun at one point.
I think so. Esports Gaming Rule says, love checking on Twitter/X when Io Sky and Kairi Sane fans showing memes of Kairi and Io holding all the titles in Stardom. Imagine if Kairi, Io, and Asuka does a photo with titles from their careers from WWE and Japanese women's pro wrestling. It kind of be cool. So yeah, I think this is going to be Viking Raiders coming back. WrestleVotes teasing the word war. Makes me think maybe they changed the name to War Machine. War Raiders, probably more likely War Raiders. So yeah. Joe Tessitore announced that tonight.
I saw some people
go for it.
I saw some people saying it was Lucha Bros. Lucha Bros are still in the AEW contracts.
First off, that wouldn't fit for Lucha Bros in my opinion. I mean, maybe, but not really. Secondly,
some people thought it was a fire because of Ray Phoenix.
Well, here's the thing with Ray Phoenix. So Penta, his contract's up in October. Just hard and fast, up in October, he's going to leave. Phoenix, we don't know. Tony Khan wants to be an ass, which technically it is and isn't being an ass because he legally can do this. He can add basically a year to Phoenix's contract. Penta is not a free agent yet, David Decker. Penta's contract does not expire till October, from what I have heard. And what is also being reported by The Observer, PW Insider, Fightful, and The Torch, all saying October. Because if his contract, because here's my thing. If Penta's contract had expired actually, he wouldn't still be listed on the AEW roster page. But for months now, Penta's been telling people close to him, hey, when this contract's up, I'm going to WWE. Like, we don't know if there's any contract tampering that's happened. But basically, he's like, I know WWE is interested, and when I can, I'm leaving.
At least, I don't know if he necessarily said that. I'm sure he probably just like, I just want to hear what WWE is wanting to offer. No.
He's told people in AEW, I'm going to WWE, my contract here is up. That's what's been reported. That he's told people in AEW, when my contract is up, I am leaving and going to WWE. Because he knows WWE is interested and will make him an offer. But he's also said he and Phoenix are a package deal and he will not go alone. So we got to let it play out.
Do you think Tony Khan will actually add injury time to Phoenix's deal?
Yes. Because I know WWE would do it. So if you think about it, if WWE would do it, if someone wanted to leave WWE to go to AEW and they had time that could be added for injury, you know WWE would add that injury time just to spite them in AEW. So I think Tony might do it. I'd give it more of a yes than a no. I go like 80-20 yes.
I can see it, but at the same time, I just don't know if it'd be a good idea, mainly because Tony could lose trust from like a lot of wrestlers in the company.
That's the thing. Like, I don't know how. I know he has in the past done the add injury time stuff, but I don't know for how many. Also, Miro wants out. And that man, there's a whole mess of stuff going on with him in AEW. Don't get me started there. Tony Khan not wanting to be a real boss.
What all happened? Is it too much?
Basically, they tell Miro, this is what we want to do with you. Miro turns it down, and they just let him stay home and pay him. It's, yeah. Tony basically saying,
that's always been a thing.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, Tony's the boss. If he says, here's creative, this is what you're doing, show up on Wednesday, Miro can just say no and still get paid. That's my whole thing. You could just say, I don't want to do it and still get paid. I don't know, but he asked for his release. Don't know what he would do with that release. I don't know if WWE is interested, if he would want to go back. That's a whole other thing. Haven't heard anything on that route. I do know he spent a lot of time in 2024 in Bulgaria, and he is now back in the United States.
Well, I know he said in the past that he doesn't want to go back to WWE because he doesn't like the schedule. He said their schedule is too much.
Well, their schedule is not too much anymore. Actually, they're cutting back almost 100 live events next year. They're doing way less house shows next year. I think so Mark Shapiro, I want to say CEO of TKO, stated that WWE right now, not counting television and premium live events, run about 250 live events. He wants to get that no. I think he said something. Hold on, let me get the right quote. I don't want to misquote it. WWE schedule. Here we go. So WWE, yeah, this isn't it. Mark Shapiro. I want to get the Mark Shapiro quote. Mark Hero live events. TKO president. Okay, here we go. TKO president Mark Shapiro reveals plans to scale back WWE live events in 2025. Mark Shapiro talked about TKO's plans to cut back on WWE live events, stating, quote, "We're cutting events at WWE. We're taking our low margin, marginally profitable events, untelevised events that Vince put in place to grow the brand, right? You're taking the show on the road. We got to go to every city they thought. That's how you grow. Well, the WWE brand, while we still have to grow it, is on fire right now. Right now, WWE does roughly 300 events a year. We want to get that number down to 250, if not closer to 200. And you already see it nowadays. Many, many, many people aren't working Saturday, Sundays. So, we'll see. Schedule's a lot. Like, back in the day, it used to be, I'm going to leave WWE to go to AEW because it's easier schedule. Well, now WWE is giving people super easy schedules on the main roster. And even in NXT. NXT's reduced their house show number as well. So moving forward, Sami Zayn approached Jey Uso. Oh, well, actually, we got the Cody Roman video all over again for SmackDown. Yeah, whatever. Then Sami approached Jey Uso.
I forgot to say,
go for it.
I forgot to add something to the schedule thing.
Go for it.
Does WWE still require wrestlers to live in the States though? If you start in NXT, I'm pretty sure you have to relocate to Orlando.
For the most part, yes. I believe everybody lives in the U.S. that works for WWE. Well, that's the whole thing with you have to. Well, I believe so. Yes. I can't think of anybody in WWE that doesn't live in the United States that I can think of.
But thing with AEW though, if they want to recruit someone from let's say New Japan, they can say, oh, you can still live in New Japan if you sign with us. Or
Japan living in Japan may be different. That's a hell of a flight to get to a Wednesday show. Like coming from the UK to the US to make a Dynamite or a Collision, that's one thing. That's like a 10-hour flight. You want to go from Japan to the US? I don't even know. And think if you're on no. I don't think they would let someone live in Japan and still be in AEW, be signed to AEW. But we know Pac and Will Ospreay, they live in the UK but still work AEW. I don't know about living in Japan though. I think you'd have to be closer than Japan. Now, granted, they have officially signed Kota Ibushi. He still lives in Japan, but he's not coming over doing many shows at all. So that is the one. I'm
pretty sure he's still injured, though.
No. He's returned since. Kota Ibushi had a match. Just worked recently, too. Kota Ibushi just had a match on 2 weeks ago. Worked a couple matches 2 weeks ago. He worked a match at the beginning of worked a match July 1st, a match on August 25th, and a match on September 8th. So yeah, Kobushi's been out there doing stuff. Not much, but and I think he even said he's not coming back to AEW until Kenny's ready.
All right, I just saw this today. Kenny's been out longer with his diverticulitis than he was with his first injury.
Yep. Well, diverticulitis is something you can't really predict. You can't just say, "Oh, you got diverticulitis, you'll be back in 6 months." That's one of those things where you just gotta let it play out.
Adam Cole's been out for a year now with his injury.
I think them putting him on the road early on in the injury kind of hurt. Because he wasn't really healing. He was traveling. He was walking around on it. He was, in airplanes and whatnot. And I think that hindered his recovery time.
Yeah. So who knows when he'll be back?
It's been a year. So like I said, Sami Zayn approached Jey Uso, basically just gave him a little pep talk, and they shook hands before the IC title match. 15-minute match here. We had the Creeds versus the New Day. Good match. Again, it went a little long. I don't think it needed to go 15 minutes, but it was still a really good match. That's a back and forth early on for the first 5 minutes or so, where no team really had the advantage. Quick tags from both. Julius Creed gave Kingston a superplex at one point, while Woods gave Brutus a superplex ahead of a break. The Creeds seemed to get the heat during the break, although we never saw exactly what happened. Woods made the hot tag, but the ref didn't see it and forced Kingston back into the ring. The Creeds then double-teamed Woods. Woods eventually hit Brutus with a missile dropkick and made the hot tag to Kingston, who hit Julius with some chops and a dropkick. Kingston then wiped out both Creeds with a trust fall dive and hit Julius with a flying crossbody in the ring for a 2. Julius then ducked Trouble in Paradise, but Kingston countered his counter into a Trouble in Paradise anyways. Kingston then tagged in Woods before wiping out Brutus with a flip dive. Woods went to the top to go for his finisher, but distraction happened when he kind of distracted himself by going after Gable instead, who appeared upon the apron. Woods then yanked Gable into the ring. Woods then lost his cool and aggressively stomped him in the corner. When Woods finally stopped, Julius clocked him with a knee. Kingston then tried to assist, but Julius knocked him out of the ring as well. Creeds then hit the Brutus ball and picked up the victory. But Woods lost the match for his own doing. You can't blame nobody at all. What do you think of the match?
Match was all right, but very interested to see where this goes.
So is as we see here a little bit later with the LWO stuff, do you think it's Woods turning heel, or maybe Kofi turns on Woods? What do you think?
I think it has to be Woods going heel.
We'll fast forward for a second.
I think it has to be Woods.
Let me fast forward to this. So Woods and Kingston were backstage. They seemed to be on the same page when Ray and the LWO would show up. Rey Mysterio apologized for what happened last week, but Woods kind of dismissed it, going, yeah, okay, whatever. Ray knew that they could get through this because, you're the New Day. You're always positive. Maybe you should take some advice, though. And Woods goes, excuse me, you want to give me advice? Why don't you take that advice and give it to someone better suited like your son, Dominic? Ray said that he didn't have time for this because he had to deal with Finn Balor next week. And Woods was like, oh, you're going to go deal with Finn because he's the former world champion, but me, never won a singles title. I just don't matter. You don't care about me? Kofi tried to calm him down, and Woods got even more mad. He's like, you know what? Balor can wait. You got a problem? We can deal with this next week. I'll fight you next week in the ring. And Woods accepted the match. The LWO left. Kingston, understandably, didn't really understand. And was like, good? Like, what? That was not needed. And Woods was just like, no. Everyone keeps looking at me like I'm the guy that can't get stuff done because I haven't won a singles title. And yeah, Woods thought he was in the right for blowing up on Ray. We'll see where it all does lead to. I don't know. Like, I don't see them splitting the New Day, like a full breakup where like Woods attacks Kofi and they're done for kind of thing. But I eventually see Woods going, I need time by myself. I'm just going to take that time, Kof. You go do you, I do me. We'll eventually come back together. That's what I think happens.
So kind of like Brooks Jensen and God, what's his name?
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Brooks Jensen, Fallon Henley, and Josh Briggs.
Josh Briggs, there you go. Yeah,
think
but
it's
then,
gonna be like one of those things.
no, because they ended up feuding. They ended up having a match against each other. I don't think Woods and Kofi, and I could be wrong on this, I don't think Woods and Kofi eventually have a match. I think they just go their separate ways and do their own thing. Honestly, they keep doing this whole thing of Woods wants a singles title. What if that singles title he wins is not more than the speed belt from Andrade?
No.
I don't see him winning the IC title. I don't. Unless he goes to NXT and beats Obafemi for the North American title. I don't see him winning. I mean, maybe he goes to Raw.
Trust me.
Maybe he goes to SmackDown and wins the US title, but I don't know. I don't see him on Raw winning the IC title.
Oh, trust me, he ain't beating Obafemi.
No, that's going to be
I don't even know.
That's going to be Tony Dio, Rocky Balboa, him and Rizzo doing Rocky 3. You see
You think it's gonna be Tony beating him?
I mean, they're building it up to where I think there's a good chance. They ain't doing Rocky 3 for nothing.
Oh, where he's like, I'm scared.
Yeah, no.
For once in my life, I'm scared.
They were reciting Rocky 3 lines, basically.
I actually saw that movie like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that movie's great.
I saw that in Rocky 2.
Rocky 2 is really good.
I don't know. I thought Rocky 3 was better.
Yes, 100% better. Rocky 4, amazing. What you should watch is Rocky 4, the Ultimate Director's Cut, because Sylvester Stallone went through and re-edited the entire Rocky 4 just a couple years ago and re-released it.
What about Rocky? Was there a Rocky 5?
Yeah, but you don't need to watch that movie. You don't need to watch Rocky 5. Rocky 5 is a movie from 1990 that nobody needs to waste their time with.
That was the one where you went to Russia, right?
No, that's the one where he trained the kid. He trained Tommy Gunn, I think his name was. And then technically there was Rocky 6, Rocky Balboa. In 2006, where he came back to fight the young stud boxer guy. Yeah.
Wait, was Rocky 4? Was that the same movie that Apollo Creed died in? And
yes,
Rocky had to like go to Russia.
Yes,
that was the same movie.
Rocky 4.
Wait, that was all in one movie? I thought that was like two separate movies.
I haven't seen them in forever, so I could be wrong. I know Rocky 4, there's two versions of it. There's, again, go watch the Ultimate Director's Cut, the one that Stallone recently re-edited. That one was great. He did that all through COVID. But yes, if I'm remembering correctly, it's all one movie. Apollo fights Drago. Drago kills him. Rocky's like, I'm not doing this just for whatever. I'm doing it for Apollo. And yeah.
I thought that honestly would have been like a nice separate movie, though.
Oh, it could have been broken up into multiples. It could have.
That would have been that would have been amazing, like second movie.
Yeah, no, they could have broken it up, but it was all one movie. Rocky 4. Now I want to go rewatch Rocky 4. Rocky 4 is my favorites are Rocky 4 and Rocky 1. Let's just say those are my two favorites, Rocky 4 and Rocky 1.
I don't remember Rocky 5 though, but wasn't there like a Rocky 6 where he was just old and he was just boxing?
Yes. So basically and we're getting off on a thing here. There's Rocky 5 where he's got his own gym. I think if I remember, I've only seen Rocky 5 once or twice, where he's not boxing anymore. And this one came out 1990. I want to say Rocky 5 came out 5 years after Rocky 4, and he trains this young boxer or whatever. Technically Rocky 6 is Rocky Balboa, where Rocky Balboa is the greatest boxer that's ever lived, kind of. And they have this new up-and-coming boxer, and ESPN does this predictor thing. They do this like 3D predictor thing where they're like, could the new big great star beat Rocky Balboa from back in the day in his heyday? And like ESPN predicts that Rocky would lose, and then like they get Rocky to come back out of retirement and he fights his kid. Yeah, it's a whole thing. And then they made the Creed movies, which are in the same universe.
Honestly, the Creed movies are pretty good. I mean, the third one were no Rocky, but do you think they'll make Creed 4, or do you think they're done making the Creed movies?
I'm pretty sure they are making another Creed movie.
I think this one would probably have to be Mr. T's kid.
Creed 4. Will there be a Creed 4? Creed 4 is officially in the works, but no timeline on production or when it will come out. So
I wonder if they have Rocky like make a return in that one, or do they say he's already done?
I think he's done. I think Sly is done. So moving forward, we had a Damian Priest video package. He said, growing up, there's a saying that people like to use, quote, "Am I my brother's keeper?" End quote. On the streets, they knew better because someone was always willing to take what you had. Life can take you to some unexpected places. Life brought him to the Judgment Day, a crew that became a family that gave him a brother to keep in Finn Balor. They talked about running WWE, and that's exactly what they did, but Balor always wanted it to be about him. He said when Rhea became champion, he was proud of Rhea, happy for Rhea. Finn was envious because he didn't have a title himself. So when he won the world championship, again, Balor had that same envious face. Priest should have seen this all coming. Balor was not his brother, and Priest would rip his heart out at Bad Blood. His final word was in Spanish, so I don't know what he said. Yeah, nice little video just saying, hey, we used to be close as brothers. We're not anymore, and I'm going to beat your ass. Uncle Howdy video. There was a new VHS tape that followed with words. No voice. All it said was, I am but dust, a worm, a rebel. You cast your light of continuance upon me, and said I shall live. The words of the red, you speak, we follow. I don't know what any of that means. So yeah.
Some people keep saying Alexa Bliss might be returning to that.
So in the segment, when I forgot to mention this, in the segment when Dom and Liv were yelling at Adam Pearce about the shark cage, there was a Lily doll behind them. You could barely see it because it was laying flat on a production box, but it was behind them.
I mean, people need those Easter eggs. I mean, they turn out to actually be something for the most part.
Yeah, you just gotta give them time. Also, speaking of Alexa Bliss, so there's the new Dump Matsumoto show on Netflix. Alexa Bliss did some of the English dubbing for that show. She voiced the character for the English version of it for Netflix, called something with Queen of Villains, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, she posted on her Instagram.
Yeah, I've been told I should watch it because it's pretty good, but I haven't gone and watched it yet. I think it's 6 episodes. The episodes range anywhere from 45 minutes to almost an hour and a half, I think I heard. But I heard nothing but good things about it. We got a video.
I wonder when she's coming back.
No clue. No clue at all.
Do you think she comes back to be part of like Uncle Howdy's faction?
Eventually, I think so. I think she eventually does. Especially
I think
with Nikki Cross being in it and her and Nikki Cross's history, it kind of just lines up and fits perfect. I really do think it does.
I think that was the original plan, though, I believe.
Right.
I know she was originally supposed to be in it.
Correct. We got a Pierce.
I can't remember who, like...
Go for it.
Sorry. I can't remember who was, like, the original, like, members. I know Eric Young was supposed to be in it.
Yeah, they wanted Eric Young. That was really the only thing I heard. Is like, maybe Rowan comes back. Bray, Uncle Howdy, Alexa, Eric Young, maybe Nikki Cross. I think that was about it. I don't think there was Dexter Loomis when Bray was still alive. I don't think that was a thing. So, yeah. Now we got what we got, and it's just kind of there. Cool.
What do you think? It's just, it would have been more interesting if Eric Young was in it.
I don't know. Like, they did the cool massacre backstage, and then ever since then, to me, it's kind of been boring and just meh. They're just guys and a girl being creepy. I just don't feel like they're any. People ain't gonna like to hear this. I just feel like the Wyatt Six are nothing special. People ain't gonna want to hear me say that, but I really feel like the Wyatt Six are just nothing special.
They probably just don't have anything for him right now.
Well, then why bring him in the way they did, all super cool and killing? And yeah, I don't know.
They had him beat Gable. Now it's like, now what?
Yep. So Pure Fusion Collective cut a promo. They had a cool little video saying this was weird. It was really weird. Talking about how all the women in the division came together and started their little tag teams and groups because they're weak and they needed others to help them. And I'm like, well, then what the fuck are you guys, a tag team and a group? What? Huh? They're like, they're just losers who can lose together. This made no sense because it's like they're shitting on people for coming together as tag teams and groups when they came together as a tag team and group. So yeah, I didn't like this. This was dumb. It was about 2-3 minutes and it was whatever. We already talked about the Ray New Day stuff. So next week, last monster standing, Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman. Kofi Kingston will go one-on-one with Chad Gable, and Xavier Woods will take on Rey Mysterio. Jey Uso got his cool entrance through the concourse area, the concessions, whatever. Fans were there. They had a really cool shot where a fan was shooting video of Jey on his phone, so the camera was shooting with the phone saw through its camera, so it was like double camera. It was cool. Then they pan it back. They see Jey there, and yeah. Oh, my eyes are starting to burn for some reason. Holy crap. Oh, I don't know why my eyes are starting to burn all of a sudden.
Need eye drops?
Probably, I don't know. I've been told for years I have dry eyes. Every time I go to the
eye you need eye drops.
Probably, but we're good. So we got our main event match. It went 20 minutes and 21 seconds. It was Jey Uso defeating Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title, and this match was awesome. I loved it. Jey hit a suicide dive, which led to a break about 90 seconds into the match. Wade Barrett let us know that Jey has been dominating throughout the break from the get-go. But when we came back, Braun then hit a power slam to take control. Braun then whipped Jey into the corner and hit an overhead suplex. They then took turns trying to go for vertical suplexes until Braun dropped Jey on the top rope. Braun then hit a backbreaker and let go of the cover at one to do some push-ups. I was like, what? Okay, you're doing that spot. Gotcha. He taunted Jey for a little while. And Jey came back with a kick and tried to go for a suicide dive, but Braun knocked him down. Braun then smashed his head against the announce table. Then, in a cool spot that I don't think I've ever seen before, Braun jumps off the announce table and grabs the head little bulldog thing to Jey on the announce table as we go to another break. I thought that was a cool spot. I've never seen that before. The bulldog leap deal onto the table. We come back and Jey hits some strikes to the sound of yeets from the crowd. Running hip attack got him a 2. Braun avoided a splash and hit a gut buster for a 2. Jey hit a pop-up Samoan drop for a 2. Braun then hit a Frankensteiner for a 2. The crowd then chanted, "This is awesome." Braun then got the better of the strike exchange and hit a power slam for, well, a 2. Jey then slipped out of the ring. So Braun cut him down with a running spear. Braun then dropped his straps and went for a spear in the ring, but Jey hit a spear of his own. Jey then hit a Uso splash, and the crowd sure thought he was going to win, but Braun kicked out. The crowd then chanted, "Ref, you suck. Ref, you suck." Braun then went for another spear outside the ring, but Jey cut him off with a super kick and speared him through the barricade. Jey hit another spear and an Uso splash in the ring to pick up the victory. Great match. Jey's got the belt now. He's the Intercontinental Champion. He runs into the crowd. Fireworks are going off in the building. And then the show just cuts. Great match, though. Great match. Not sure why they took the title off Braun Breaker so soon. I feel like he hasn't really had it that long. But overall, these two killed it in the main event of Raw. What'd you think of the match?
That was Braun Breaker's second defense, right?
I believe so. The Sammy one, 2 out of 3 falls, and then this. Well, let me double check. It may have been Braun Breaker. Let's go to his cage match. So we go here to his cage match. So we had the Zayn and then this one. Yep. Just the two. What'd you think of the match itself, though, tonight?
Match is pretty good. I mean, trying to think. Rikishi finally got what he wanted.
Right? Or Rikishi, I don't know what the hell Rikishi's doing. Rikishi now over here saying, they're pushing Jacob too fast. You need to slow that down. Then last week trying to tell us pray for Jimmy. What? I don't know what's going on with Rikishi.
I'm sure his kids are probably embarrassed. Like, what the heck is he saying?
Yeah, I don't know. Also, if you're watching live on Twitch, the poll is now live. So, yeah. We'll see. But great match. Great main event. I thought the show overall was really, really good. Had some great wrestling on it. So, yeah. If you missed that main event, I would say, like, usually I say, you don't have to go back and really watch much. But I would say go back and watch this match. It's 20 minutes, and it was well worth 20 minutes to watch. But with all of that, let's go check the polls here to see what you guys thought of the show. Also, I was going to go live and play some Fortnite. Not anymore. It's too late. It's way too late now. I got to be up extra early tomorrow, so we're not going to go live tonight. We'll be live tomorrow playing some games on Twitch, though. As far as the Twitter X poll does go, 88% liked the show. 12% thought it was just all right. Looking at the Threads poll, everybody that voted on Threads liked the show. Good to see. Good to see. As far as the YouTube community poll does go, 85% liked the show. 9% thought it was just all right. And 6% didn't like it. Some of the comments here. Congratulations, Jay. Congratulations, main event, Jay Uso. Congratulations, new champ, main event, Jay Uso. First one. This person says, I think Roman is so proud of him with singles title and his brothers, Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso. Person says, happy for Jay. Another one, congratulations, Jay. And this person says, I liked it. As far as the YouTube live poll does go, 92% liked the show, 4% thought it was just all right, and 4% didn't like it. And as far as the Twitch poll does go, everybody that voted liked the show. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. So with that, guys, have a great night. Luke, tell them they can find you.
You can find me over at Twitter X at Petke_21. And you can also find me over at Twitch at Young Grasshopper Luke.
With that, guys, we'll be back on Wednesday. Remember, it's a special AEW Dynamite. It's AEW Dynamite Grand Slam, which is slam-packed with a bunch of matches. Like, they got like 6, 7, 8 matches announced for this show. I think they actually moved the Jeff Jarrett Hangman match to Collision because they had so much booked on Dynamite. So that's going to be a big one. We'll talk about all of that. Yeah. Talk about the Vince McMahon documentary as well. So have a great night. Have a great rest of your week. And we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys. All right. If you're still watching live on Twitch,